Hey yo, you doing alright? I don't care. It's a new year, and a new year comes New Year's resolutions that we're all not just going to pretend are the same resolutions from previous years that we're just going to fail at again. Just me. But lest we forget, the most important part of the new year comes a new Winter 2025 anime season. Today I'm going to talk about what I'm watching this season and what my first impressions are. I'm Frank, your club host for today. Now let's get right into it. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. In fact, two elephants in the room. Solo Leveling Season 2 and Apothecary Diaries Season 2. Fans of this anime are eating good this season, especially considering that they're getting high quality seasons in such a short amount of time. You see, back in my day, anime used to release with a random amount of episodes, like 38 or 64 episodes, or some of them was just say, screw it, and they just released hundreds of episodes. And the one thing that they had all in common is that they all came with a satisfying, conclusive ending that tied everything together and left you feeling very satisfied. Even anime like Hunter x Hunter, which by the way, spoiler free, but let me just say the ending, even though the manga continues the main plot line, the anime only ending comes together at a very satisfying point. And they just don't make anime like that these days. Now you get 12 or 24 episodes and that's it. Oh, you want to know what happened? Go buy the manga, loser. Let's get into what I've been watching this season so far. So first, there's Solo Leveling Season 2, which is streaming on Netflix, being produced by A1 Studios, who are adapting Chungwon's manhwa. Apothecary Diaries Season 2, which is streaming on Crunchyroll, made by OLM Studios, adapting from Natsu Hyuga's light novel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And then there's Zenshuu, which is being produced by MAPPA, and it's an anime original. And also, the only anime original, Honey Lemon Soda, which is streaming on Crunchyroll right now, produced by JC Staff, adapting from Mayu Murata's manga. Sakamoto Days, streaming on Netflix from TMS Entertainment, adapting from Yuto Suzuki's manga. And also, we can't forget about Gildo no Utsugejo desu ga zangyu wa ririna node basu wa soro tobotsu shiyu to omoimasu. Or, I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Also known as Girimasu, which is streaming on Crunchyroll, produced by Cloverworks, adapting from the light novel Matto Kosaka. Who would have guessed it was a light novel based on a on a title like that? Jesus Christ. I chose most of this anime mostly because of that's what I'm personally interested in, and I'm just checking things out. Like Sakamoto Days, for example, has a massive reputation in the manga space. I've heard many good things about it. And then there's Zenshuu, which is just an anime original. MAPPA is a very reputable studio, and I will almost always give an anime original a chance. And then there's anime like Honey Lemon Soda, which is technically a shoujo romance, and I'm pretty far away from the target audience if I'm being honest. But I'm gonna give it a chance anyways because one, it looks absolutely stunning, and two, it's also the 8th most hyped up anime this season, so I just thought I would check it out to see if I'm missing out on anything. There's still plenty of other big hyped anime this season I'm sure many people are excited for, like Dr. Stone Season 3, but I'm just not caught up on it, so I'm not watching that personally. But I would like to take a moment to just list off maybe several more anime that are relatively popular and maybe worth you knowing. My Happy Marriage Season 2, The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You, I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate in Class, Toilet Bound Hanako Kim Season 2, and Ishura Season 2. Apologies if I may have missed your favorite anime this season. I think we have close to 100 individual different anime, but I think those are pretty much all the anime that's worth keeping an eye on. I've been streaming all this anime on my Discord community so far, and it looks like we've been having a pretty good time, but I do stream quite a lot of anime on there. If you're interested, the link will be in the description below. And as I go through this video, I want you to know that this is a safe space, a spoiler-free zone, as you will. Just a friendly reminder, if any of you spoil anything in the comments, I'll remove them, and I'll also be in contact with your first grade teacher, and I'm sure they'll be very disappointed to see how you've grown up. Alright, let's get into the first anime, shall we? Honey Lemon Soda, a shoujo romance produced by JC's Staff. These guys have made other popular romance anime such as Toradora and Golden Time, which are considered to be some of the best romance anime out there. And also One Punch Man, personally my favorite romance of all time. What Honey Lemon Soda is about is a girl called Uka Ishimori, a 15-year-old girl who was bullied during middle school, and she earned herself a nickname as Stone because she would freeze up based on her timid nature, and that made her a very easy target for bullying in middle school, and she put up with it for the most part. And when it came time to graduate middle school and choose herself a new high school, she thought that she would choose one that attracted a lot of extroverted type of people, in hopes that she would change herself and become a more interesting person. And then when she joins this school, unluckily, she finds out that her old middle school bullies have also chosen the same school by coincidence. And she thinks the same thing's gonna happen all over again. That is, until one day, it wasn't until some boy band looking dude sprays her with lemon soda when she decides to be like, oh, I actually am going to be a better person, stand up to my bullies. And it also makes her fall in love with them, based on the fact that she got sprayed by some sticky soda. I don't know where those emotions come from either. Like, I'm just as lost as you, dog. So far my first impressions, this anime is absolutely beautiful, especially in the background art. You know, sometimes I find myself distracted just looking at the windows, the grass, the leaves. Even the freaking pavement is absolutely stunning. You know, and that translates to the characters as well. They all have a very distinct design. I love their outfits. I love the details in the eyes as well. I think everyone also has a very colorful personality. At the end of the day, I am still not quite the target audience. I've just never really been a fan of romance. I mean, I have enjoyed some romance, so that's why I'm giving it a chance. You never know what you might be missing out on. But at the very least, if you're into romance, I think you might enjoy this. I wouldn't say it's on par so far compared to other romance legends and cult classics. However, I think it has potential. Just purely in animation alone, I think many people would enjoy the experience. Me, however, I'm just gonna give it like the 3-episode rule. Basically just 2 more episodes, and then I might just drop it. We'll see where it goes though. Now let's talk about I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Produced by Cloverworks, who are also known by other notable works like Spy Family, My Dress Up Darling, and The Promised Neverland. This anime that we're going to talk about today is about a woman named Alina Clover, because the studio that produces it is called Cloverworks, and we have an anime about Clover working. I'm sorry. So our main character, Alina Clover, figures that she could have it easy. A nice, easy life working as a receptionist for an adventurers guild, which takes place in a fantasy realm. Little does she know, the adventurers that work in this town are the equivalent of lanterns. Not very bright and need to be held everywhere. And what this means for a poor girl, Alina Clover, is that she's stuck with overtime, having to do paperwork and managing all kinds of admin about these adventurers who can't just figure out a boss or a dragon that's raiding the village.
Is it because she's too lazy to do any of the work in the middle of the day?
No, so it's explained in the first episode.
But why is she the only receptionist that's staying back to deal with all the paperwork?
I will say that is actually a really good question, because it has shown that there's multiple receptionists. So yeah, why the hell is she the only one?
Is it because she's like the head receptionist or something? But like literally earlier in the episode it says that she's just started as a receptionist and she was already doing overtime.
On one hand,
I think she just sucks at paperwork.
Yeah, you know what? It might just be a skill issue.
Be better.
So she comes up with an idea, a very illegal idea. She does illegal adventuring under the premise of a disguise called the Executioner. And she is, quite honestly, a badass. She, as the name implies, will solo any boss. All for the sake of being able to clock out on time the very next day.
Oh, that CGI animation. Oh.
You can do it! You can defeat the bad CGI! So this anime so far is giving me vibes of a very light-hearted fantasy type of anime that's meant to be relatable to the average working adult. Almost like the fantasy version of Agretsuko. But I'm only an episode in so far, so it's just my first impression. We'll see where it goes. But honestly, I'm pretty impressed. You know, this could be the comfort anime of the season. I'm not too sure if the direction is going to go into more action, more comedy. I'll be interested even in a bit of world building. It could go a bit anywhere. But either way, I do find it kind of relatable, if I'm being honest. I think the main character is very charming, and it got a few chuckles out of me. Now let's talk about Sakamoto Days. Describing the plot for Sakamoto Days is very easy. You've got this dude, and said dude is, or was, the greatest assassin of all time. Now, he's the greatest dad of all time, spending time with his family, making a vow never to kill again, and dedicating his life to running a store while also helping others. First impressions kind of lead me to believe this is like One Punch Man in a sort of sense, and we even get a hot blonde guy who admires our main character. Just like One Punch Man. Except, unlike One Punch Man, Sakamoto Days comes with nicer, motivating underlying messages in his story, such as be selfless, family is important, and apparently killing people is wrong. I can't help but be a little confused on the power system I've seen so far in this anime. It's really confusing if these characters are using powers or it's just all technique and the visual effects is just for the viewer experience. But there was like this scene where he breaks a knife in half with cooking tongs.
Holy sh... What the hell, bro?
Otherwise, it's a very fun watch. A lot of the animation is very simple. Nothing too extraordinary. It almost looks like a PowerPoint slideshow at times. But when it comes to the action scenes, the Sakuga that comes out is absolutely amazing. The fight choreography, what I'm looking for most to see more is just more interesting fights. I'm a big sucker for fights, especially if they're well animated, and I just hope this dude could truly find peace. Then there's Zenshuu, the only anime original of this season. Zenshuu is a fantasy isekai anime made by MAPPA. And MAPPA has also made other works such as Attack on Titan, Kakegurui, and Jujutsu Kaisen. This anime has one of the best first episode impressions to me so far. The character design, at least for the main character, stands out to me as being rather unique, and I think it's a pretty cheeky way to save on a bit of animation, because having like all that hair in front of your face kind of saves you a bit of time from drawing the face and mouth movements and such. But they don't shy when it comes to scenes that actually matter. You know, they have some very beautiful transformation scenes when it counts. I mean, MAPPA really went from drawing Titans to drawing more Titans. Hells yeah. The premise of Zenshuu seems to be about a girl called Natsuko Hirose, who becomes an animator straight out of high school and finds near instant success with a smash hit anime. One day on a little bit of a lunch break, she puts on a bit of anime and starts eating some wacky expired food, and then she just up and dies. She actually wakes up in the anime that she was watching while she was eating her food. And see, this is like the one thing that really makes me hesitate getting too attached to this anime. The fact that it's an isekai. You see, I'm a bit racist when it comes to isekais, alright? Hear me out, fellas. Even though I have enjoyed many fantastic isekai out there, like Overlord, for example, isekai is also a recipe for just garbage. So I just have trust issues, alright? I apologize if I've offended a certain genre of fans, but I'm happy to let it cook. The gimmick with this isekai is that our main character seems to have the power to draw anything she wants, with the limit of the fact that she can only draw it once, and then she has to draw something new each time. And the fact that she got transported inside of an anime that she has seen countless times and is a fan of, she knows exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So she's transported in this world where she gets to be able to predict the future as well. I'm not exactly blown away by the plot, but it is an anime original made by MAPPA, so I'll let it cook and see where it goes. So let's get into the big dog of this season, Solo Leveling Season 2, which is being made by A1 Pictures, who made the first season, other works such as Darling in the Franxx and Sword Art Online. So this studio seems to specialize in raising just a generation of edgelords. Beyond that, we are eating good this season as our boy seems to be testing out his new powers with the Shadow Army and just limit testing to see who he could actually recruit into his Shadow Army, growing it bigger and stronger. I do want to make a disclaimer that I'm one of those solo leveling fans who think the plot is quite mid, if I'm being honest, but the animation goes hard and the music is also quite good. I still think the manhwa is like a greater experience because the art and the way it flows from the pages is absolutely fantastic. I do recommend it, but the anime is also just as good too. What is that angle?
He's tweaking! He's tweaking out, bro.
あの後少しは寝れた。
一睡もできませんでした。
まあ、家に着いたのが明け方だったし。朝帰り
ですね。
一睡も
ジヌ君は
二人はそういう関係だったのか。ちょっと寝たら着いた。
He's a solo Rizzler.
ハンさん未成年です。だったら
Space!
Yo.
Wait.
No, he's misunderstanding the situation.
Bro's a Redditor. Would you say Solo Leveling is like staying true to the manhwa? Like a decent adaptation?
Yeah, it's staying pretty true. Really happy they kept the silliness of the shadows though. It's like the favorite part.
It kind of reminds me of like the minions from Despicable Me, except a lot more powerful. And lastly, we got Apothecary Diaries Season 2, which is being produced by the same studios who did Season 1, OLM, who also did most of the Pokemon series that we all grew up with, and Komi Can't Communicate, to name a couple. So the studio is quite good at giving us very cute, lovable anime, and they've also done Berserk. What the fuck? In this new season, Momo seems to be living her best life, getting a new kitten, and ordering lots of adult magazine for research. I'm not sure where this new season is going to be taking us, but if you've enjoyed the first season, I think we're all going to enjoy the second season for all the same reasons. And that just about wraps up my first impressions of the Winter 2025 season. I might drop some anime, I might pick up some new ones. If there's any anime you reckon I should absolutely be checking out now, feel free to just recommend me in the comments, and I might just stream it on Discord. I might just make a video about it sooner. And the next video should be, when we release maybe a couple more episodes. Once there's like 3 episodes out of every anime, I feel like I can make more conclusive impression of recommendations of what you could watch. Otherwise, there's fun things happening in Discord as well. Like this Sunday, for example, it's just gonna be like a little show and tell day where anyone could join the VC and just name any anime, and I will watch the first episode of that anime this Sunday. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.